I had the epiphany that if I stay here, it's so easy to get stuck. And I would wake up at 60 and go, I haven't done anything meaningful with my life. And that's a life wasted. Do you know what? The first podcast I ever did, I forgot to turn the other person's mic on. So only one mic was picking us both up.
Nice. And listen, on that bombshell, welcome to the podcast. I am sat with Grace Hardy. Introduce yourself.
I'm Grace Hardy. I am an accountant, and I started off by getting an apprenticeship when I was 18. I qualified as an accountant at 20, and then decided to leave my corporate job at 21 and start my own business.
I have a question. Can you qualify that quickly in 2 years?
Yes.
Or were you just really good at what you do?
I wasn't that great. I was okay. Yeah, you can qualify that quickly. So I went down the AAT route, which is an exam board. And I qualified 9 days before my 21st birthday.
I'm already impressed. So you are... What I like about you more than anything else is the bravery in starting your business in such a big, massive corporate world at a young age. And that is your unique selling point, like you said. And you're a female, which makes it a bit more difficult, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think I wouldn't necessarily say I was brave. I think I was stupid in the fact that I quit my corporate job with zero plan. I just realised, I had the epiphany that if I stay here, it's so easy to get stuck. And I would wake up at 60 and go, I haven't done anything meaningful with my life. And that's a life wasted. For me personally, that's the way that I think about it. And so I was like, okay, I've qualified. I want to do something else. I don't know what it is. I want to go travelling because I never had a gap year. I went straight from sixth form to corporate. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go travelling. Quit my job, handed in my letter of resignation. And then was like, I'm going to go to Bali, find myself and like go see waterfalls or do whatever you do.
Which sounds amazing, by the way.
Yeah, until I realised it was rainy season that I couldn't go. So I had 3 months until I could go to Bali, and I was like, what do I do with all this time? I could go back to working in hospitality or retail or anything just to save some money before I go. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm a qualified accountant. Wouldn't it be so funny if I just started a business and then I'll close it before I go to Bali? But it'll be a nice thing to do in the interim.
Why did you want to wait? Why only for 3 months? Just to fill the gap in your schedule?
Yeah. So I was like, I'll do a couple of tax returns, make some money, maybe do some hospitality. And I knew at some point I wanted to start my own business. I just didn't know what it was in. And so I was like, this is a good opportunity to like see if I like it. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, then I'm not bothered. And so I think that I didn't need to have any bravery because I had zero expectations. I didn't think it would work. And I was really excited to go to Bali.
Okay, so here's the kicker. What made you stay past that 3-month period?
I realised at that point I was getting a lot of clients and different opportunities that were literally so amazing. And I was like, it would be really naive of me to stop what I'm doing right now and go away. I could build this into something actually quite amazing and go to Bali and work there instead.
And for the listeners, how many months have you been active now?
It will be 7 months at the end of June.
Nice. The world has changed. The world of marketing has changed. And I first discovered your account on TikTok. Not because I needed accounting services, but just because like it came up on my For You page, and what I recognized straight away as a comparison to me and you is two people that are building something.
Yeah.
You an accountancy firm and kind of like a brand for yourself, and me a podcast and like a brand for myself. So I recognized that instantly through your posts. And then like did we speak in December?
Honestly, I have no idea what
I think it was shortly after coming back from Paris or something like that. My point is, I've gone off on a bit of a tangent, is I've seen you grow more and more. Growth is often sometimes an obstacle for a lot of people. So share how you're growing on social media.
I think it's very much trial and error. So before I started a business, didn't really have social media. Had an Instagram for all my friends at like secondary school, and that was that. And I just post pictures of myself when I go on holiday.
Yeah.
And that's the extent of it. And I had a TikTok that I never posted on and rarely used because I thought the platform was quite toxic.
Because it is.
Yeah, preach. But my hot take is actually I think LinkedIn is the most toxic platform.
Explain.
Because everyone's sitting there gloating about all their achievements. And do you know what? 9 times out of 10, they're great achievements. Like, well done to everyone. But if you sit there and you scroll on LinkedIn, you always think, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. All these people are out here achieving incredible things and I'm sat here in bed eating a Wagamama's. Whereas like on TikTok, you very much know that that is staged. Whereas on LinkedIn, it doesn't feel as staged because they're actual achievements.
Yeah, because they'll have like the company attached to the post and all of these other things. So are you basically saying that on LinkedIn, people only show you like, I don't know, the good side of the corporate world or something, and they don't actually show you the process? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so a lot of people, when you have LinkedIn, you basically just post when you've got a new job or a promotion or something like that. That is basically what LinkedIn is used for. And a lot of people that create content on LinkedIn or put posts, they're mostly just achievements. It's very rare that you find someone who actually opens up about how their journey has been. Or it's always a ridiculous story like, oh, I saw a dog on the tube and it reminded me about X, Y, Z, and then it turns into a very corporate-y post.
Yeah, you're making me feel very glad about not using LinkedIn. I feel like LinkedIn is just a glorified search engine for jobs.
I think it is. I don't use it for that personally. For me, I get a lot of opportunities off LinkedIn. So a lot of speaking opportunities, which is like really quite cool. Whereas TikTok, that's where I get my clients from.
Okay, you get TikTok. Okay, how do you know it's from TikTok?
Because I found you on TikTok.
Okay, I mean, I found you for this podcast on TikTok. So, yeah, I mean, it works. It works wonders. My last guest, or my last podcast that was uploaded, so Wild Stories of Nora, for those of you that have listened, I found her on TikTok as well. It's crazy. Like, the reach that social media gives you is, I think, unimaginable, because everyone always says, okay, post on this and post on that and people will start following.
Yeah.
But forget the numbers. It's not about the numbers. It's the fact that actual people will become a client.
Yeah.
Or become a podcast guest. I always find that when utilized properly, social media can, how do I put this, speed up your growth.
Definitely. If I didn't have social media, I don't think my company would have grown as fast as it has.
So would you want to disclose how fast it's been growing? What are any numeric values that can be, like number of clients, not financial turnover?
Yeah, so I deal with about 40 to 50 clients at the moment.
Is that on a yearly basis?
Yeah, like monthly.
40 to 50 clients on a monthly basis. Now, layman's terms, because I'm an architect, not an accountant.
Yeah.
Does that mean that by the end of the year, for example, you have about 600 clients, or does that mean that some of them just come and go?
So I think the easiest way to describe it is some of them are on a monthly retainer and some of them are just like one-off. So they'll want their self-assessment done or their annual accounts. And so at the end of the year, who knows, because it keeps growing every month.
But if I have a limited company or I'm self-employed, is it possible for me to register some of my finances between January and March with Grace and then from March onwards with Dave or something? Do you know what I'm saying?
So you can change accountants.
Okay.
And that's absolutely fine.
Doesn't make a difference?
No.
I did not know that. I did not know that. Because usually in the building world, you don't just change architects. Once the project kind of starts. Everyone just like competes at the beginning.
Yeah.
And one gets chosen and one gets stuck with. Yeah, that's actually really interesting. So what is, for you, the general client that you get?
So it's a lot of young business owners and a lot of them are in the creative industry. So I have a couple of property clients, but most of them are creatives, which I love. But the USP is young business owners because I find that young people don't really want to go to that stocky, old, stuffy accountant. Mm-hmm. They would rather speak to someone like me where we have more in common and more things to talk about and feel like I'm not speaking down to them. We can actually have a conversation because financial education isn't taught in schools, which is such a massive issue. And so people create businesses because they're so passionate about something, not necessarily because they love taxes, unless you're me, obviously. And so they don't know anything, and it's quite scary to turn around to someone and go, I don't know how any of this works and I really need help.